What is going on, ladies and gents? Happy Friday. Joined by Krabs and Iain again for Anytime Touchdown Score, sponsored by Betfred Sportsbook here at the Hammer Betting Network. Iain, we had a week off, but don't let the boys get hot. That's all I'm going to say. We had plenty of winners 2 weeks ago, and it's time to run it back. You ready to attack the board?
Yeah, I was in the middle of nowhere in rural Ontario, Canada last Friday, so couldn't do the
Awesome.
show, but hopefully the momentum from the week before will carry into week 18. One of the toughest weeks to bet on in the entire sports betting calendar is week 18 in the NFL, but hopefully we can target some anytime touchdown scores. What did we do? 5-7 2 weeks ago, which must have been profitable with the plus money plays.
Had to have been.
Had to.
Had to have been. Although we had some greasers in there just to see some go through the hoop, right? Like Derrick Henry,
Yes,
but
that's true.
about as free as they come. I almost look like Megamind with the
Almost.
whole defense, special teams, Commanders, and San Francisco try there. The 49ers had a defensive touchdown that was called back, unfortunately. Just had a feeling one of those young QBs was going to turn the ball over and do something stupid. And they
Yes,
did.
and also a funny part of 2 weeks ago, I believe it was 2 weeks ago, when we were both on two different Carolina running backs, and on the show I even said bet on Blackshear is his name, the third
Sure.
string.
The Hokie. Yep.
And of course he scored the opening touchdown of the game. I think we still got. I think you had Foreman score a touchdown for you, but I don't
Yes.
think Chuba Hubbard ended up scoring. So yeah, that was funny. But I still think we probably did end up profitable at 5-7 2 weeks ago.
100%.
So let's keep it going.
100%. We have to. Don't have a choice here, Ian.
Yeah.
Let's keep the momentum rolling. All right, we're going to kill it this week. Look, this week is tough. You hit the nail on the head. You already mentioned it. Betting on week 18 in the NFL is brutal, right? Half the teams are playing for nothing. You got to be picky. You got to be smart. You got to be sharp. All right, that's what we're here for, guys, to do the research for you. Okay, so you guys know how this works. We have 3 tiers, right? We get our Thor Hammer tier, which is our best. And then we got our Sledgehammer tiers, which are 2 picks. And then the Mallet tier 3, which is, our least confident, but we still like them, 3 picks each. And that's where we start. And then we'll work our way up from there. So, Ian, if you're cool with it, man, we can just hop right into it and cut the shit.
Let's do it.
Let's do it, my man. Hey, I can get us kicked off here in the Mallet tier. I'm going to go with Alexander Madison. Anytime touchdown score, plus 400. I've been trying to find value with these Mallets. All right, I'm going to hit one here. And I think the Vikings, I know they're still playing for stuff, but once they go up big in this game, they are playing against one of the worst rush defenses in the NFL this week, in the Bears, right, who have given up actually 29 rushing touchdowns. I thought that was a mistake when I saw it, but that is accurate. That is true. So how I see this game script going, and this is how I attacked the board 2 weeks ago when we hit a lot of these bets, is you pick teams in positive game scripts where you think at least they're going to be scoring, or you think there's going to be points in that game, right? It's not rocket science. I think there's going to be points in this game, especially from the Vikings. I think they're going to run the living shit out of the ball against the Bears. I think the Bears aren't here to win this week. They're just here to collect game checks. Hence why the Vikings are laying 7.5 here on the road, right? I think they absolutely run the score up here. And by halftime, Dalvin Cook's day should be done. Maybe even earlier. I don't know. But I've seen this like it was yesterday. I see this every year towards the end of the season when the Vikings are already in or resting guys, or maybe Cook was hurt. But Madison owns these last couple weeks of the season that mean nothing. These are his weeks. And he's getting pay dirt at plus 400 ATTS this week. It's coming in the second half. If you want to get cheeky and bet that and find a book that offers that, go ahead. But Alexander Madison's getting in the end zone. What do you think?
I agree with that because Krabs, we have once again made the mistake of not consulting what our picks were before the show because that was going to be my first pick. But now I'm going to big brain this. Last week this happened to us. We took 2 Panthers running backs. The third string running back ended up scoring the first touchdown, as we mentioned earlier. So the obvious move would now, since you're going to take Madison, we don't want to copy picks. The obvious move would be for me to go with Dalvin Cook, but no, I'm going to big brain it. Now we're going to take the third string running back.
Let's go.
Give me Kene Nwangu. Plus 450. He is the third string running back. Yeah, if the Vikings do get up, I've never heard of him. I had to look up their depth chart. If the Vikings do get up early, Dalvin Cook, like you said, will sit, and then maybe they'll sit Madison even in the second half, and then it's going to be the age of Kene Nwangu will arrive, and he will cash in for us at plus 450. But I had a lot of the same points as you. which is why I was targeting Alexander Madison. Bears giving up 1.8 rushing touchdowns per game this season. Last in the NFL. They also can't stop the run in general, 29th in opponent yards per carry, giving up 5 yards per rush. Vikings take the lead early, probably rest their starters, and then just run the ball the rest of the game to seal the deal. So any Vikings running back, you want to go Madison. I actually wouldn't go Cook because, I don't think his value is actually that good, minus 140, because if they get up to an early lead and he doesn't score the first or second touchdown, they might just sit him because the Bears aren't scoring any points because they're starting Nathan Peterman, pick six Peterman, as I like to call him. So, either go with Madison or go with my pick. What was his name here?
Don't let Kene Nwangu get hot. Don't let him get hot.
Don't sleep on Kene Nwangu.
People keep sleeping. He's had a hell of a year. 4 attempts, 1 yard. He's averaging 0.3 yards per carry.
Let's go.
He's had one heck of a year. Hey, these are the weeks, though. These are the games where guys like Kene look like prime Marshawn Lynch.
Yes.
That's just facts. I like it.
People are saying. People are talking.
You know what? I think we're actually better off with this now.
Yes.
I think we're in a better place.
Yes.
It's like we're hedging a little bit. Love it. All right, let's keep moving. I'm sure I have your same pick here, too. J.K. Dobbins. You go back to him this week, though?
Nope. We're safe
awesome.
there.
Look at that. Let's go. Was kind of hoping that we had the same pick because it's kind of funny. But give me Dobbins. Plus 230 here. The whole NFL schedule thing in this game is weird. But, look, it's still Ravens-Bengals, right? You're still going to get effort from the guys who are out there. And I think Dobbins will at least be out there, the majority of early on in the game. They're still going to try to win this game. I just don't think they're going to be able to with how good, the Bengals and Burrow have looked. But you're getting effort, at least from both teams, because if the Ravens somehow win this game, there could be a coin flip involved down the line that involves potential, weird home field for either of these teams if they sync up in the playoffs. Anyways, whatever. Both teams are trying. All right. Dobbins has been the guy. Gus Edwards has not been the guy recently. I don't know why, but he hasn't even been getting the rock, really. So I'm going with J.K. Dobbins here at plus 230 ATTS. A lot of people are going to be saying, low total. Bengals are going to grub here. The Ravens aren't going to score much. I trust the Ravens and Harbaugh to get pay dirt at least, 1 or 2 times in this game. And we know with Hundley going probably in this game, he's only thrown 1 touchdown pass, this season. They're running the damn ball. And Dobbins looks good. So give me him at plus 230.
All right, I like it. Yeah, he's been a favorite on this show for sure. I think I'm
never come through though. I don't think he's ever come through.
No, I think I picked him once and he had like 102,000 rushing yards in a game, didn't score a touchdown. I'm going to stick with receivers for my next few picks here. I'm going to go Tutu Atwell. This is my pick with the longest odds in the show today. Plus 300 for the Rams against the Seahawks. He's played 84% of offensive snaps in 2 of his last 3 games. He's seen at least 5 targets in 3 of his last 5 games, and Seahawks have given up 1.4 passing touchdowns per game this season. And the Rams have kind of proven that even though they have nothing to play for, they're not giving up. They're still playing hard. Baker Mayfield has a chip on his shoulder. He's going to try to do as much as he can to prove to the rest of the NFL that he still deserves a job in the league, possibly as a starter. So I think they're going to come out firing. I like the Rams this week. I like Tutu Atwell to score at 3-1.
Hey, that's cheeky. I mean, for some reason, the Rams just won't give up. I don't know if it's Sean McVay or whatever it is, but they don't have a give-up bone in their body, to be completely frank. So I like the pick, and he's been the guy the last couple of weeks. Him and Cam Akers, I mean, it's been night and day. The only offense really there. So I like the play. All right, I'm going to wrap up my mallet tier here, tier 3, with my guy, Jonathan Williams. I picked him before. I'm picking him again. The Commanders' 3rd string running back, but he'll be the 2nd string here this week with Gibson out for the rest of the year. Look, here's the deal. I don't know why, but last week, Jonathan Williams was getting half the snaps with B-Rob. I don't really know why. I know Jonathan Williams at practice, he's been getting praised for being such a hard-o, and he's a really big practice guy, an effort guy, and he's been grinding his ass off. And I think he's been rewarded with carries because of that. I think he's just been outworking the other guys, and he's been looking good. And I think they're going to reward him and give him the ball, especially this week. Brian Robinson started off the season hurt, right? There's really no reason. We're not playing for anything this week. We got Chase Howell at QB, Jesus Christ. So we're definitely going to be running the ball a lot, right? And I don't think we're going to give the ball to B-Rob, 100 times in this game. God forbid he gets hurt in the last game of the season. We're going to look even dumber than we already do, right? Which might not even be possible. I'm going with Jonathan Williams. He had 50% snap rate last week. He's at plus 175, which I thought was a little short, a little weirdly short, which makes me feel good as a contrarian here. I like Jonathan Williams at plus 175 for the Commanders to find pay dirt.
All right, I like it. You're going with your guy for your last mallet pick. I'm going to go with my guy for my last mallet pick. I'll go Drake London, plus 175 here. Ever since Desmond Ridder has taken over quarterback, Drake London has gotten a ton of looks. His last 4 games, his targets, he has 12, 11, 9, and 8. And I think the Falcons are going to let Desmond Ridder sling it this week because they got to find out what they have in this guy. He's been completely average in his start so far. They need to find out if they're going to try to ride with him next year or try to get a different quarterback to take over the starting role. So I think they're going to let him sling it against the Buccaneers in Week 18. Buccaneers also surprisingly 28th in opponent passing touchdowns per game as well. And they're also likely to sit most of their starters, if not all, in the second half, because the Buccaneers can't improve or get a worse seed. They're locked in at the number 4 seed for winning the NFC South. So I think Desmond Ridder might get a chance to tear apart some backups here in the second half of this game. So I'll take Drake London plus 175.
Little sidebar. What do you think about the reports that Marcus Mariota just quit on the team when he got benched?
That's tough luck. Tough luck. Not what you want to see. I say that guarantees he's not going to be back with the team, especially because he talked a lot about being a mentor to Desmond Ridder, and I don't think good mentors quit on you when you get your first start of your career. So not good.
Yeah, a little weird. Gosh, even Wentz and Heineke have been helping out. Their guy Sam Howell. Anyways, okay, that wraps up our mallet tier 3. I like that. We're picking guys on our own team that we know. It's some good value there for tier 3. Let's go up to the sledgehammer tier. All right, the middlemen, tier 2. I'm going to get it started with the guy who came through for me 2 weeks ago, a guy that's square. I don't really care. It's Derrick Henry, ATTS, at minus 110 here. He's getting in the end zone. Look, they rested him up last week. He's fresh, which is huge for him and just huge for a running back in general at this point of the season. I like the game script for the Titans here. I personally think the Titans might end up winning this game. Don't sleep on Mike Vrabel, one of the most underrated best coaches in the NFL. They're going to run the living crap out of the ball this week. A lot of hype, a lot of talk about the Jags, and they're such a young team. I feel like this is a terrible spot for them, sitting at minus 6.5, which is a trap line too. So I like the Titans. So if they're going to win or just cover this game at plus 6.5, they're going to need somebody to score, and it's going to be obviously the horn and Derrick Henry, absolute dog coming in here. He's going to get his. He's getting his coming off a rested week. I don't care if it's at minus 110. He's finding the end zone one way or another. All right.
All right, fair enough. Who do you have covering in that game? Or are you betting on this?
Oh, I love the Titans.
Oh,
love the Titans. Mm-hmm. You don't like it?
No.
Damn, you're gonna be with all the squares on the Jags on the fun new trendy team.
I'm square central this weekend in terms of sides. You know what? Why don't we just stick in the same game then? Speaking of the Jaguars, speaking of square, got Christian Kirk for my first sledgehammer play here, 2-1. This is a big incentive kind of a pick here because he needs 2 catches. For my understanding, my research showing that he needs 2 catches for $500,000 bonus, 12 catches. Obviously, that's a bit of a stretch, but 12 catches for another $500,000 bonus, and 91 yards for another $500,000 incentive. So, I mean, it's kind of tough for teams. Maybe they won't target him too much because this is the must-win game. This is obviously not a throwaway game that they can just target him just for incentives. But I think he's going to be a big part of their game plan this weekend. Also, Titans give up the second most passing touchdowns per game this season, giving up 1.8. So I've rode with this guy before. I think he has cashed for me on the show in the past. I'll ride with him again this week. Christian Kirk, I think pretty good value at 2-1 as well.
Okay. Yeah, I like how you kind of pivoted there and said, it's not all about the incentive thing because, to be perfectly frank, in this game, I don't think they give 2 shits about incentives. No. They're trying to, win the division, right?
Yes.
But it is a good matchup for him. And I like the pick itself. So, yeah, he's getting in the end zone. Let's fucking get it. And you did take him earlier this year when we were struggling. I think he was the only one of the week who scored. So, good vibes with him as well. I like it. All right. I'm going to go with Zach Moss, ATTS at plus 140 here. For my second sledgehammer, my last pick here in tier 2. Look, the Colts are playing the Texans, who are absolutely terrible, especially against the run. They've given up 24 touchdowns this season, which is nuts. 5 yards per carry. Look, they suck, and we know they're tanking. Okay, they are tanking, and I'm not saying the Colts are really excited to win this game, but we know Jeff Saturday isn't going to really give up the ship here yet, and we know that Lovie Smith is a professional tanker. And he's going to find a way to do it here. if they lose this or if they win this game, there's a chance they don't get the number 1 overall pick with the Bears. So I don't really see a way that they're trying to even win this game or score at all. I think they let the Colts do whatever they want. I think the Colts hand the ball off to Zach Moss a ton like they've been doing against a shitty run defense. And I think Jeff Saturday tries to get one more win to prove that he could be a head coach in this league going into next season against a team that literally is going to be trying to lose on purpose. So give me Zach Moss at plus 140. Love this pick.
Yeah, I like it. Pretty straightforward. Good pick.
Yep.
My final sledgehammer pick, I gave out Christian Kirk earlier. I got another Christian for my other sledgehammer pick, Christian Watson. Plus 140 for the Packers. Obviously, if the Packers win, they're in on Sunday Night Football. Big game, and he's become Aaron Rodgers' favorite target. At least 6 targets in 6 of his last 7 games. Lions secondary, not so good either, giving up the second most yards per pass attempt at 7.5, also giving up 1.6 passing touchdowns per game. Aaron Rodgers will be looking to Christian Watson several times again on Sunday night. It's just whether or not he gets a touchdown. So plus 140, I think it's great value. I think by far he has turned into Rodgers' number 1 target. So I feel quite comfortable taking this pick. So I like Christian Watson to score in Sunday Night Football in what hopefully will be a meaningful game for both teams. I hope the Rams can pull off the upset against the Seahawks earlier, so it's a win and get in game for the Lions and Packers. That'd be fun.
That would be fun. I'm in for that. I like that. Gosh, I'm going to stick in this game too for my Thor hammer. Are you ready to move?
Ooh, let's hear it.
Let's get after it. I've got Jamal Williams as my favorite ATTS of the weekend. Not a hot take. Plus 105, though. I'll take that plus money here for ATTS. Listen, the Packers defense has been the best defense in football, debatably, over the past month or two, just like they were last season, and nobody talked about it. They literally were the best ranked defense in the NFL. Nobody said a peep about it. Everyone only talks about Aaron Rodgers on that team, which I think is ridiculous, but I get it. He's the face of the team. Look, they've given up a lot. They give up 5 yards per carry, bottom 5 in rush defense.
Yep.
They absolutely clamp passing-wise. I mean, their DBs have been absolutely cracked out the last couple weeks. They held JJ to fucking 1 catch the other day. What? That's nuts. I wouldn't be taking Amon-Ra St. Brown in this game, that's for sure. I'd be taking running backs. And hey, I gave a peep to Swift, but I think they go back to old reliable, our guy Jamal Williams here. I got 2 Williams. Jonathan, my guy on the Commanders, and I got Jamal here as my favorite pick. The guy's got 15 touchdowns rushing this season. He's been the guy, right? They get him the goal line, they give him the ball. He's the goal line back. And they're going to do it again this week, just like they've done every single game this year. He's the guy they give the ball to, in the goal line stance. So I like Jamal Williams here. I like the game script personally. Yes, I think the Packers win this game. The NFL is going to make that happen. But I think the Lions cover, and I think the total's high. There's going to be points, right? And they're not playing at home. The Lions aren't. So they're not going to be passing. It's not going to be a Jared Goff legacy game, in my opinion. Give the ball to your running backs because, God forbid, if Jared Goff tries to win this game himself against that secondary, they're fucked.
Are you saying the fix is in on Sunday night?
I mean, the fix has been in all season for the Packers the last 2 months. Look at how the Commanders games have been reffed, man. It's putrid. It should be illegal. I don't understand it. Yeah.
If there's any fan base that has a leg to stand on when it comes to that, it'd be the Commanders fan base.
Well, when your owner is a piece of shit and your team name was racist and the organization is absolutely in piss and they're trying to do everything they can to take the team away, it's not shocking that the league is going to do what they can to make sure your team's not successful, right? It's not rocket science. They don't want them in the playoffs. Why would they want them in the playoffs? Why would they want to give Dan Schneider in the playoffs? That doesn't make any sense. They're not going to do that.
Because they want to be fair, because it's all about fair play, isn't it?
Yeah, it is all about fairness. But yeah, give me Jamal. Give me Jamal. He is that guy, not D Swift. If you took D Swift in fantasy this year, you're crying. You're crying yourself to sleep at night. It is what it is. Give me the guy who's been the guy all year for the Lions, Jamal Williams. All right. What do you got?
All right. I like it. My Thor hammer play. I'm looking at the first game of the Week 18 slated as Chiefs at his Raiders. I'm actually kind of surprised we can get this at plus money. Jerick McKinnon, plus 125. This guy has scored 8 touchdowns in his last 5 games. Let me repeat that. Damn. 8 touchdowns in his last 5 games. He's a touchdown machine for the Chiefs. Extremely involved in the passing game. At least 5 catches in 3 of his last 4 games. And if they do rest Isaiah Pacheco in the running back role, maybe McKinnon might get a few extra carries in this game as well. Who knows? But he has been a touchdown machine. I will gladly take him at plus 125 against the Raiders on Saturday afternoon.
Awesome. I don't think they're going to rest Pacheco, but I think it'll be the same thing as the Vikings game, right? Where, they're probably going to be up big at half and they're going to take Dalvin Cook out. That's kind of how I see it. So yeah, I love the pick. We've seen this guy. It's crazy, but he's been the touchdown machine for the Chiefs. Travis Kelce hasn't scored in 5 weeks. What the fuck? It's been McKinnon. Whatever works, I guess, for the Chiefs right now, right? I mean, they're making it happen. They're winning games. So love this pick. This is sharp. You pair this with Jonathan Williams in a little 2-piece parlay, you're going to be rich this weekend.
Yeah.
You're going to be rich this weekend. Responsibly bet that. Okay?
Responsibly.
Chad, thanks for coming. As always, this was your episode of Hammer Anytime Touchdown here on the Hammer Betting Network, sponsored by Betfred. Have a great weekend. Okay? Attack the slates responsibly this weekend. The NFL games suck. Be patient. We have good NFL playoff games coming. But you can go ahead and lock in the Jags responsibly plus 6.5 with all these ATTS bets. Okay? Ian, appreciate it, man. Have a great weekend. You killed it. We'll be running this back again next week. All right? We'll catch you guys. Peace.